Alrighty, Mike.
Any updates on the injuries?
No, just working through some things here now. Guys are getting evaluated, some guys are getting some, pictures and things done, so I'll have more tomorrow morning, so, no.
On the forward group, you have good depth when you look at the two guys who have
Yeah.
not played yet.
Yeah.
One, Smith has had a great season, two, Delandria played well against his team, I think.
Yeah.
In the playoffs. Does that give you confidence?
Yeah, I mean, it's easier, we do have some depth there, yeah. Like, those guys, I think, what's the best way to put this? I think it's good, checking fourth line depth.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's top six scoring depth, but, it's definitely NHL depth, which is good, yeah.
Would that actually change maybe, I know Texas is in a
Yeah.
playoff situation as well.
Yeah,
Does that change the equation when you think about call-ups and
Yeah.
fitting guys into those roles? Like, I think under normal circumstances, you'd probably
Right.
be looking at Fort
yeah,
potentially.
yeah, no, that's a great point, and that is on the table for sure, depending on what we're missing and what the fit is and things, and what we're looking for, absolutely.
When you look at the numbers for the road, how do you assess all that? I mean, they're fantastic.
Yeah.
I think you're top 3 or 4 in
Yeah.
pretty much every category.
Yeah, we've been a great road team all year, so just gotta go and do it, and again, I think, it doesn't feel good today, the hole we're in. I think when you remove yourself from the emotion of it and look at, the actual underlying numbers and things, the margins are razor thin, I like our game 2 better than game 1, and I didn't mind our game 1, so big save, big goal at the right time, and, the series can turn.
Is that sports, basically? I mean, I was just thinking about it last night, like, this comes down to making the right play at the right time.
Yeah.
Whether that's a 50-yard
Well-
field goal or a big shot
Well,
at the end of a game.
yeah, it is sports, but it's particularly sports, when you've got a traditional 1-8 matchup, or the margins aren't as thin. You're essentially jumping into, from the regular season into a conference final or a Stanley Cup final, and the margins are razor thin when you get two teams like that.
Can you attribute that road success to any particular reason? Does it feel different when you're out on the road?
I don't know, I think we've got I'd like to attribute it to our game, that it translates on the road. I think we're pretty solid in all areas, special teams, 5-on-5. So I think when you've got a consistent game that you're putting out there on the ice every night, I think that translates to the road a lot better.
The one number that stands out is goals against. I think you're 17th or 18th at home, like third, I think,
Yeah.
on the road. Is there anything, whether that's team play or goaltending or a little bit of everything?
I think it's both those things, and I don't have an explanation, for that, but, I'm glad those are the numbers, and I'm glad we're going on the road.
You talked about the emotion and not feeling great about
Yeah.
where it is now. Having the extra day between games 2 and 3, does that allow
Yeah.
anything to just sort of calm the waters?
Yeah, I don't know, I mean, I think, especially when you're getting banged up a little bit, I think it helps that way. I don't think it, our schedule for resetting our mindset would have just been, today we come in and do that as opposed to tomorrow. I don't think the extra day helps that way. I think, it helps on the injury front.
You guys are going into a building against the defending Stanley Cup champions. It'll be their first home playoff game since they won it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're facing 2-0 hole. How do you keep your guys focused on?
I was gonna say, you got
This
any, you're gonna paint a bleaker picture for me?
I mean, that's where you guys stand. It's factual.
You're right.
I wish I could paint a better picture. I really do.
Go ahead, finish your
Well,
question.
no, so I just, how do you focus on just the game in front of you?
Yeah.
And not getting too caught up
Yeah.
in where you are?
Yeah, that's playoff hockey. I mean, that's our job as coaches, is to reset that mindset, which we're gonna do. We've got a group that's been on deep playoff runs, that's been in holes in series, that's fought back. So we've got that experience. I don't think it's a big deal.
So Bruce Cassidy actually mentioned that earlier this morning about they have a group that has been through this,
Yeah.
obviously, and winning last year, so they feel confident that, you know, they've seen all the situations before. Is this just another, I guess, learning step for your team to the ultimate goal?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I mean, I think, I think those are things you reflect on after you're done. Was that a learning? What did we learn from that? I think right now we're concentrating on winning one game and getting back in this series.
Is there any benefit to maybe going in and spoiling for them that?
Sure. Well, there's all kinds of motivation. There's all kinds of motivation to win that game tomorrow, but no more than, your season is on the line. I don't think you need extra motivation other than that. I think the guys know exactly where we stand.